They won today. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. That's amazing. So great. Good evening, everyone, and I'd like to welcome you and call to order our Lucan Biddulph Council meeting for Tuesday, March the 5th. We do have an addition to the agenda, and it's a motion that will be added 16.2 and 16.3 towards the end of the meeting. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest? So I would like to acknowledge that I am an ally of Indigenous peoples. The township of Lucan Biddulph is located on the treaty and traditional territory and ancestral lands of many Indigenous peoples and is covered by several Upper Canada treaties. We recognize and celebrate the contributions of Indigenous communities in our shared cultural heritage. Lucan Biddulph is now home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples and communities that have a unique relationship with the land and its resources and continue to shape the history and economy of the township. We recognize the unique roles Indigenous communities have in the development of our municipality. The contribution from Indigenous communities ensure the sharing of unique perspectives and traditional knowledge, and the township recognizes the importance of consulting with our Indigenous neighbors and communities in an effort to build constructive, cooperative relationships through meaningful engagement to inform our decision-making and build partnerships. We acknowledge historic and ongoing injustices that Indigenous and peoples endure in Canada, and we affirm our commitment to honoring Indigenous voices, nations, and cultures, and to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect. So last week, former Prime Minister Brian Mulroney passed away. Mr. Mulroney served our country as Prime Minister from 1984 to 1993. He is best known for the GST and NAFTA. However, Mr. Mulroney also had a very strong record when it came to the environment and foreign relations, particularly his strong stance against apartheid and his support of Nelson Mandela. He was not without controversy, but as tributes poured in last week, it was clear that he was a mentor to many. He served our country well, and on behalf of our residents and council, we extend our condolences to the Mulroney family. This week marks International Women's Day, and the theme this year is to inspire inclusion. The theme this year emphasizes the importance of diversity and empowerment in all aspects of society. It underscores the crucial role of inclusion in achieving gender equity. It calls for action to break down barriers, challenge stereotypes, and create environments where all women are valued and respected. The theme, Inspire Inclusion, encourages everyone to recognize the unique perspectives and contribution of women from all walks of life, including those from marginalized communities. When we inspire others to understand and value women's inclusion, we forge a better world. And when women themselves are inspired to be included, there's a sense of belonging, relevance, and empowerment. Collectively, we can forge a more inclusive world for women. And International Women's Day will be celebrated at the Lucan Biddulph Community Memorial Center on Friday. The CFDC is hosting their annual event, and it is sold out. So congratulations to them, and we thank the CFDC for celebrating International Women's Day here in Lucan Biddulph. So tonight, we do not have a closed session, we do not have a public meeting, and we don't have any delegations. So we're going to move right to the minutes. And we have our regular council minutes from February 20th in front of us. If there is no need to amend those or make any sort of adjustments to them, I would ask for a mover and a seconder to approve those minutes as circulated. Deputy Mayor Manders and Councillor Regan. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you very much. I don't believe that anything has been added to the business arising from the minutes. I know that there was an item that we're going to be dealing with later, but was there anything from those minutes that council would like to see added to business arising? Okay, thank you. On to correspondence. It's a shorter list of items that we've received over the last couple of weeks. Did council have any questions, or did they have any of those items that they wanted pulled for discussion? Staff did not pull any for discussion. Okay, seeing none, then I would ask for a mover and a seconder to receive those items of correspondence for information. Councillor Hodgins and Councillor Westman, all in favor? It's carried. Thank you very much. On to committee reports, Blue Water, CEDC, Lake Huron, we have a meeting on Thursday. Nothing from fire boards, ABCA.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just wanted to bring to council's attention that the ABCA has named Davin Heinbuck as the new general manager.
That's great. Thank you very much for that. Congratulations to him, and we certainly look forward to getting to know him and working with him. And there was also just notification there of the Upper Thames annual meeting. Parks and Recreation.
Nothing this evening, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. On to staff reports. Anything from the clerk's department?
Thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor, I'll just mention there is 2 bylaws included later on tonight that have to do with the Fire Services Advisory Committee and appointment of those members and a formal establishment of that committee through our CIC procedural bylaw. So those 2 bylaws are listed there as discussed earlier.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions for the clerk's department? Okay, nothing from building. Finance, Catherine?
Thank you. Just the one report I have tonight is just for your information, and it's required under legislation to bring this information to council each year. And it's just a statement of the council remuneration and expenses paid in 2023.
Thank you very much, Catherine. Any questions on that report? Then I would ask for a mover and a seconder to receive that financial report for information, please. Councillor Westman and Councillor Regan, all in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Nothing from planning. Public Works, Jeff.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I've got 3 reports tonight. The first one is a report on e-scooters. And the e-scooter report was a request that came through council. And it centered around a concern for pedestrian safety and the interaction of e-scooters on our streets. When I started looking into this, and we're all aware that e-scooters are in every community. And so when I started looking into this, it became interesting in the fact that e-scooters technically are illegal on all roads. It doesn't matter whether you're a 5-year-old with an e-scooter or a 40-year-old with an e-scooter on the highway or on the roadway. It's being acknowledged by the province that this is a developing trend, and that they've started a 5-year pilot project to evaluate how e-scooters are going to interrelate into the communities. The program started a number of years ago, so it actually finishes up at the end of 2024. A number of municipalities participated in this program, and to participate, you had to pass a bylaw. We do have the choice. We could try to do 6 months worth of the program, but I don't see the benefit in that at this point. I think as when I was reading through the program or the pilot project, the idea here is the province is going to come back with regulation on e-scooters. I see them, if I was to hazard a guess, I would see that e-scooters will follow similar to e-bikes, and that there'll be regulations on how to operate them, where to operate them, and some rules and regulations on that. In my report, I did mention that pretty much most of the larger cities did participate or are participating, with the exception of Toronto. And Toronto chose not to because they were concerned about the impact of e-scooters and how they interacted with pedestrians and people living with disabilities, which I thought was very interesting. So I included that in the report. The report doesn't go into a lot of detail because I believe we might as well wait till the province can evaluate their pilot project and bring out guidance and regulation through that. So I think that would be the more important thing, is to wait and see what comes of that. However, this report did come through in a relation to how e-scooters can relate to, or how it relates to pedestrian safety. And as I stated at the start, e-scooters are technically illegal on the roadway. So as of right now, what I would suggest for pedestrians, or if there's a concern for safety, that if you do observe an e-scooter operating in an unsafe manner, then it is suggested that you can notify the police. And I would also go a step further, that if you have been in an accident or a near miss incident with an e-scooter, then I would strongly recommend that you report it to the police, because these are things that are all going to affect the community as we go along. So Madam Mayor, at this time, like, there's really no impact on the budget, and I don't have any recommendations going further until we get more information from the province.
All right, thank you very much for that report. Jeff, are there any questions or comments from Councillor Regan?
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Thanks, Jeff, for the report. I remember bringing this up some time ago. So I appreciate what the work you did on this. I'm just wondering, considering that we'd wait for the province to come out with the report, which is I'm fine with, and the fact of the matter is that they're not legal on the streets now. Should we, in some way, shape, or form, have some sort of education to residents, because they are being used in the community? I haven't seen any yet this year, but I know as we got to the last, and I'm not against them, by the way, but it's just that as we got to the end of the last year, there were several, and it wasn't just one or two of the same people. There were a number of these that were on the roadways. I'm just wondering if there should be some education so people know that they're not supposed to be driving these things on the roadways. It's just a question, but maybe perhaps to Jeff.
Yeah, and Madam Mayor, and again, maybe I'm not the right person to be answering that question. It might be more of an indication of an inquiry at the police level at right now. It certainly would not hurt. Easily we could promote safe operation, but at the same time, I think it's more of a police matter right now.
Are you satisfied with that?
Okay, I'm all right. Okay, yeah, I'm fine. I think people I'm just concerned that some people don't realize that they are illegal. That's my concern. And I'm not sure how we could address that.
I mean, could it be included in a spring newsletter as, we're bringing reminders of, spring-like things?
Yes.
Could you maybe just, I don't know, refer to whatever the statute is or something, Lisa?
Yes, through you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, of course. We just are doing one right now, which has more safety for walking, which I'll probably do another newsletter in a month, and we can highlight that safety.
All right.
as well.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right,
Thank you, Lisa.
thanks.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Are there any other comments on that? Then can I get a mover and a seconder just to receive that report for information, please? Councillor Regan and Councillor Hodgins, all in favor? And that's carried. Thank you very much. Okay, you want to continue, Jeff?
Yep, my second report tonight is my dust control. This is an annual tender that goes out for dust control. It came back, and the Denmark Brines was low bid again. They were the low bidder the previous year. It is within budget. And I would like to point out that the amount that Denmark did tender is exactly the same as the amount they tendered the previous year. Having said that, though, the other bidders also saw a slight decline in the price for dust control. or close to the same price as in 2023. So that's a very interesting statistic there. But I just bring it forward to council for approval.
Thank you very much. Any questions on that one? Councillor Hodgins?
Thanks, Madam Mayor, through you to Jeff. I just noticed the low bidder, Denmar Brines, they were just significantly lower than the other three bids. So my question would be, with their bid coming in so much lower, I guess how can we ensure that we're getting what we pay for from the low bidder? Like, are they specifying the same product? And my other question was if we worked with them in the past, so it sounds like we have. So did it perform well in the past? And are we sure we're getting a good product for the dust control?
Yeah, through the mayor, it's a good question. I would start by saying that we have a good working rapport with Denmar Brines. They've been the low bidder with us for a number of years. So I think that goes a long way in securing a good price with them. We do ask in our tender a comparison of product, because there can be a different chemical background to each one of these products. So it is based on an Ontario spec, and it does relate back to that spec and how they deliver it. So you know, if it takes, for instance, an example, if it takes 2 liters of one person's product versus 1 liter of another, the tender does base that into taking the cost of the unit and bringing it out to the final amount. Having said that, and the final thing is that I do agree that we've had really good luck with Denmar Brines. The way we use it and the way it performs on our roads, I don't have any problem with the product itself.
Okay. Are you good
Thank
with
you.
that? Okay. Any other questions on this report and results from the tender? Okay, with that, you've got a motion in front of you that we receive the report and we authorize staff to accept the tender from Denmar Brines in the amount of $87,540, excluding HST, for the supply and delivery of dust suppressant and road stabilization products for 2024. Mover and a seconder for that, please. Councillor Hodgins and Deputy Mayor Manders. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. And your third report, Jeff.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The third report is our annual gravel maintenance tender. We put this out every year, and it is meant to bring in maintenance gravel that we do half the township in a year's time. So it takes 2 years to do the entire township with maintenance gravel. So this year we sent it out. It's the same volume that we used last year. The maintenance gravel will be going on the easterly portion of the township. So we'll be working towards the Stonehouse and Observatory Clark Road area. We did put it out, and we did get a low bid from McCann Ready Mix. It came back in at $15.32 per ton. They were the winners last year, so we did use their firm last year and had good luck with them. So I don't have any issue with the company performance. The other ones are listed there. I would point out that both of the other two that did bid are in the township. And I did have a conversation with them. I think one of the reasons why we're seeing a little bit of a difference in price on this contract is gravel in the area is getting harder to find. And McCann's do have a gravel pit that is located very close to our east side. So the trucking portion of the McCann Ready Mix is there's a savings there, where the other two still have to bring in gravel from a distance just to get it to our township. So I think I know that's the reason why we're seeing a bit of a difference there in the tenders. So I would recommend that we do use the low bid of McCann Ready Mix.
Okay, thank you for that. And thank you for proactively answering the questions I had about the difference. Any questions or comments on that? It is, yeah, interesting, the difference in the how trucking can add up the costs for sure. If there's no other comments or questions, then I would ask for a mover and a seconder to receive the report and to authorize staff to accept the tender for McCann Ready Mix in the amount of $168,520. That's $15.32 per ton. And that excludes the HST for supply, delivery, and spreading of granular M gravel for 2024. A mover and a seconder for that, please. Councillor Westman and Councillor Regan, all in favor? And that's carried. Thank you very much. Do you have anything else, Jeff? Nope. All right. Nothing from Parks and Recreation. Economic Development, Lisa?
Yes, thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor. Just a few verbal updates tonight. Sorry, a couple of my things didn't occur until Friday and today. So the first one, the EDC was hosting a small business marketing workshop last week. Unfortunately, we had to cancel that because of a random snowstorm that decided to come through. So it's being rescheduled to March 20th. That's again with Red Rhinos coming to that. There, we talked about before, new FedDev My Main Street funding program is now open. It closes March 31st. The community activator stream, which is the one we'd be applying for, is funding up to $250,000 with no need from us to contribute anything towards that. So it's not a matching fund grant program, nothing. It's straight up, here's the money and work on your project. So it's actually a really great program. It says Southern Ontario, but I'd like to clarify that actually goes up to Ottawa. So whether you think that's Southern Ontario or not, but that's how it's qualified. So it is a big amount of municipalities that are within the scope of this new program stream. So staff have been working on a few projects to submit under our streetscape, including streetlights. Some of the other things included ideas for some landscaping projects that were also in the streetscape strategy report, and potentially a mural in Granton and some night market accessories for those two events. So we spoke with them today actually regarding clarification of some other ideas that were presented, and unfortunately they would not qualify. So that's why we're moving ahead with these particular projects, because they actually fit perfectly within this program. So March 31st, we'll be getting that in for funding, and they're hoping, they said you'd hear back April 1st to May 30th, you'd receive the money even. Yeah, so you'd hear and receive the money within that time period. So it's a very quick, really great program. And the other thing is just a reminder that April 20th will be our annual Pitch-In Day partnership with the Scouts and Guides. So if there's some council members and staff that would like to sign up to help out, please let me know and I can pass that along to the group. I will not be there, but I'm sure everyone else can help out just fine. And that's everything. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you for that, Lisa. Any questions on those verbal reports or comments? Okay, thank you for that, Lisa. Councillor comments. Councillor Regan.
Very briefly, Madam Mayor, just to remind everybody that your Junior C Lucan Irish are in the round 1 of the playoffs. I think they're playing in Thamesford tonight. They're playing tomorrow night at the community center. Game time's 8 o'clock. Just want to mention that and get everybody out to support them. Thank you.
The series is tied.
Right now, 1-1. And
the mayor of Zorro and I have revisited our wager from last year. So whoever's team wins,
Right.
the other mayor has to wear the jersey.
Yeah,
The
they're going to
council meeting,
look good in their
and
jersey.
we've upped the ante, and that the mayor, the losing mayor has to put together a gift basket of local stuff that the winning. Okay, Warren won.
Thank you, Madam.
Oh,
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
yeah,
Yes, thank
thanks.
you.
Yeah. Anyways, it was good. I went to the game on Saturday and it was great. So everyone should go. It's really good series, really good series. Any other councillor comments? I did just want to acknowledge the passing of a former Biddulph Blanchard board member, Jerry Wallace. He passed away on the weekend, and Jerry represented he lived on Whalen Line. So he actually represented Perth South on the board, but served as vice chair for a few years, and was on the board, Alex, maybe for 2 terms, I think. At least maybe 3 even. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So certainly we want to pass our condolences on to Jerry's family. His daughter, actually, Catherine, does a lot of work with the municipality. She is an engineer with Dylan. So we certainly want to pass on along our condolences to Catherine. With that, we'll move on to our motions. I don't have any changes to budget. Are there any notices of motion? Then we will just move on to our motions. So the first one in front of us is with regards to a course that Abby wants to take. So the motion in front of us is that council authorize Abby Vandermuren to enroll in the Legal Awareness 1 Supervising in a Recreation Environment online course through ORFA at a registration cost of $550 plus HST. A mover and a seconder for that, please. Councillor Regan and Deputy Mayor Manders, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. Council authorized Jeff Smale to attend the 2024 Pro Conference in the town of Blue Mountains on April 16th to 19th at a cost of $985 plus HST. Mover and a seconder, Councillor Hodgins and Councillor Regan, all in favor? It's carried. And that council authorized Brett Hodgins to attend the Registered Playground Practitioner course through Ontario Parks Association in Whitby on April 22nd to 26th at a cost of $1,358 plus HST. And I just should note that this will allow our staff to be able to certify and approve our playground equipment. In the past, we've had to hire a consultant to do that. So having somebody on staff will be able to do that ourselves. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Councillor Westman and Deputy Mayor Manders, all in favor? And that's carried. We have 3 bylaws in front of us. Bylaw 11-2024, and it's a bylaw to appoint various members to various boards, committees, and authorities. Bylaw 12-2024, being a bylaw to govern the organization, proceedings, and administration of council-appointed committees. And bylaw 13-2024, the confirming bylaw. So if no one cares to speak to bylaws 11-2024 through 13-2024 inclusive on their first, second, and third reading, they be considered to have been read a first time and passed, read a second time and passed, and read a third time and passed. A mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Westman and Councillor Regan, all in favor? And that's carried. And resolve that council meeting be adjourned at 6:58 p.m. A mover and a seconder, please. Deputy Mayor Manders and Councillor Hodgins. It's funny that all hands went up for that